If our friendship has this much drama, I don't want it. First story, a close friend, female 25, said she wants to seduce a married man. He turns out to be my, female 25, husband, who is male 31. I do not channel this energy in my life. This story came October 8th, 2015. I was at a dinner outing with friends. My friend, Mary, fake name, is very attractive and kept getting hit on. She usually can have any man she wants. She shows a lot of cleavage and has big breasts. This is nothing new for her, but we're all kind of jealous of her. I met her after I married my husband through her sister, who I knew in college. This is not a small town by any means. We live in a big city with a population of millions. But I guess it's a small world after all. My husband also attended the same college and we met through friends there. So it is shocking that he knows Mary. Mary and I are kind of close friends now. So we had drinks and Mary was pretty drunk. So were the rest of us, I suppose. All these hot guys kept hitting on her all night. So when Mary shrugged it off and said it's just the cleavage tonight, but she was being modest. She gets hit on when she's all covered up too. Anyway, her yabos became a topic and one of the girls asked Mary if she had ever let anybody. Oh, well, I can't say that on the internet without getting flagged, but use your imagination, you know? Not motorboating, but motorboating with your, forget it, moving on. She said she loves her yabos, and although she was saving that for her eventual husband, she did let one guy do this to her because she was way too into him. We asked her what happened, and then she proceeded to give us all the details. It was a crazy sexual experimentation with weekend hotel rooms. But she said he's married now and wants nothing to do with her. She said she would have married him in a heartbeat, but he would not commit to her. Then she added that she has made advances, but he doesn't bite. We all started teasing her about going after a married guy, but we were all drunk, so it wasn't over the top and we didn't lecture her. She also said that judging by her interactions with him sometimes, she thinks that he's going to cave and take her to a hotel again and her brains out. That was in quotations. She was serious about this one. One of the other girls got really quiet and kept staring at me. Later, she told me Mary was talking about my husband. But was your husband the one with the experimentation and the hotel weekend thing? I'm uncomfortable. I was livid, but she wouldn't let me betray my trust and confront Mary. I asked her to call Mary on speaker and ask her. She asked her in a joking way what possessed her to talk about wanting to screw my husband when I was sitting right there. Mary laughed and just said that it was the alcohol. I asked my husband about Mary and he said they had a short fling that didn't last. But Mary described it as having gone on for over 2 years. I didn't know my husband in that time frame, and he didn't know I was friends with Mary's sister until shortly before our wedding, when I invited her to the pre-wedding dinner. I didn't meet Mary until around the same time. I asked him if Mary has ever made any advances or flirted, and to flat out deny any of this. He said that she keeps a respectful distance. Now I'm angry that my husband didn't tell me he slept with Mary right when I met her. But truthfully, I would have been angry anyways because I'm kind of jealous of her. I also don't know why she says it went on for so long and he described it as brief, like over a few weeks. Mary insisted that night that she flirts with him and has practically thrown herself at him, but he hasn't bitten. She also said she thinks it's a matter of time. I didn't ask for details because we were all drunk and I didn't know if she was referring to my husband. I'm not sure how to handle this because my husband insists that he doesn't know what she's talking about. Now, 2 of my friends know and they're telling me it was all drunk talk and Mary was just talking out of her butt, that I should just believe my husband and leave it alone. Mary comes to my house for gatherings all the time because we are actually close friends now. She also runs into my husband at the gym often because they both work out with similar schedules. I'm not sure how much to ask of my husband. Can I ask him to change gyms? Why is there such a disconnect between what she remembers and what he described? This is driving me crazy to another level. Should I have a sit down with her and ask her what all happened? Interesting. You know, it would be one thing if she made a joke about wanting to your husband. I mean, I wouldn't like that joke either way. But the fact that they have history, oh my God, that adds a thick layer. We have an update and it came 1 week later. We are now at October 12th. Let me begin by saying a few things about my husband. He is very good looking and gets a lot of attention. It's not just me saying it because he's my husband. He does stick out for his looks. The other thing is that he's an idiot and doesn't know when he's being hit on, and he gets hit on a lot. I also have a problem with jealousy because I am insecure. Sometimes I get mad at him because he gets too much attention from women and he never has any idea why I'm mad at him. He drives me nuts because he never changes things up. He gets coffee at the same place. If he wants a burger, same place. If he wants a bagel, same place. Salad, same place. I understand some of this, like haircuts, but he never goes to a variety of places unless I practically force him to. The problem is that there happens to be girls behind the counter. They get the wrong idea that he's there to see them, and he's had girls give him their email or number, even though he's wearing a wedding band. The other day, I walked into a coffee shop with him, and the girl said, "Hi, honey boo," to him. Then she complained that he had not been there in 3 weeks. He's not like a model, but we live in a big city where there are a lot of modeling agencies, and he looks better than models. He has the prettiest eyes, he's fit, but he doesn't know how to do his hair and looks like a nerd most of the time, but it works for his career and it works for me. He's also too nice and women take this the wrong way. I'm working on getting him to be more of an a-hole to people. Just kidding. Just want him to be less nice without being a jerk. I mean, I feel like you can be nice, but if someone was calling me honey boo when I went in there and I was in a relationship, like that'd be a little, why are you calling me honey boo? I'm not your honey boo. Maybe, I don't think people, with the face I give all the time because I walk around like this, I don't think anyone's calling me honey boo. Now to the issue at hand. I asked him about the discrepancy in timeline between him and Mary. He admitted that it lasted months and probably more than a year, but that he remembers it all going by so quickly, but he never thinks about it. So when I asked him about it, he didn't think that it was important. He doesn't see his time with her emotionally significant. He also says he runs into her at the gym a lot, but that he doesn't really talk to her. Sometimes she walks out and will point out that some girl is checking him out. She calls all women that look in his direction sleuths. I asked him if he would change gyms, and the look on his face was worrisome. I don't think he wants to, but he said he would if I really wanted him to. I'm afraid my jealousy is going to push him too far. I confronted Mary and she apologized and said that she still has feelings for him. Remember that thick layer I talked about? Just throw another one on there. You know, she shocked me by telling me we shouldn't be friends and she wants to stay away from me and my husband because she'll never get over him as long as we are in her life. She actually requested a transfer to the East Coast and it was granted at her work. She will be gone for 3 years. Oh, she loved your husband. It was overall pretty friendly and she was respectful. She's not leaving until late January 2016. Just one problem with my conversation with Mary. I asked her some details and this was a mistake. She asked me if I was sure and I said, yep. She met him because he was involved with a friend of hers. This girl was a dancer, an exotic dancer, in a very upscale place that's known around here. The dancer brought Mary in for a threesome with my husband. This became a regular practice until Mary developed feelings for him and stole him away from the dancer. The details about the intimacy stuff were worse than I thought. I also could tell Mary was getting satisfaction out of telling me all the details. I could tell she knew that she had this over me. I was like a willing hostage because I didn't walk away from this conversation, and she knew this, so she took full advantage under the guise of honesty. This made me feel worse and more inadequate. I always thought we had a great intimate life, but now I think it's only great for me all this time. I asked my husband about all the intimacy stuff and he did confirm. I was annoyed and I asked him why he never told me about this stuff and why he never told me about his history with Mary. He said he was afraid of telling me about Mary. He didn't think that I would take it well. He also said if Mary had been inappropriate with him, he would have immediately sat me down and told me. But I'm afraid he doesn't know what inappropriate is. I also asked him why he never told me that he was into all that stuff. You know, the stuff he did with Mary. I told him that I felt sex with me was boring for him. He said he thinks it is great with me. When he talked about what Mary said about the things they did with the dancer and later alone with Mary, he said that he never set out to do any of that. He said it was stuff that just happened as opposed to stuff that he went out to do. Not sure what the difference is. It's not much consolation right now. My other friends didn't and they don't know. 2 of my friends know about Mary and my husband. The other who gave me the heads up and Mary's sister. Mary's sister is married now too, so she kind of takes my side, though she loves her sister and is also best friends with her. I mean, good thing she's moving, I guess. But I don't know, I would feel weird if my husband didn't tell me that, especially if she was like close to you and was around all the time. I feel like I would want to know that they hooked up. I don't know if I need to know all those details.
No, don't like that.
But maybe just that you had a thing for a while and you were intimate, just for the respect of being in the know of everything in the situation. Girl, you know, it's that thing where you don't want the details, but like you do want the details. Let me know what you guys think about that. Next story, my friend's boyfriend is stalking me and I don't know how to talk to her about it. Concerns. This story came March 15th, 2026. I've been in a few activities with Rory, 20 female, over the past school year, and we grew close. Though we were friendly before, but didn't know a lot about each other. I found out she had a boyfriend of a year that happened to be from the same high school I went to, and I chalked it up to one of those, what a small world kind of thing. Rory and I got even closer this past semester since we are both in the student government and the student paper. We hang out a lot outside of activities, and I include her in some of the hangouts of my closer friend group. In one of the hangouts, we met her boyfriend, Logan, 20 male. Ever since that hangout, I keep meeting Logan in places where I would normally be and places where I planned to be. Again, I would normally chalk this up as a coincidence, but the city where my college is in is huge. I don't even see some of my closest friends on a random day if not for it being planned. It happens at my cafe spot where I study or places I mention to my friends that I'll be doing errands in. It's starting to feel scary how often I see him that I'm getting scared just going outside and meeting up with him. He is nice when we meet, but I get a sick feeling whenever we talk and I feel like I'm being scrutinized or watched. I don't know how it keeps happening and I haven't really told anyone because it sounds weird in my own head. What more to others? I want to speak to Rory about it because maybe she has an idea why he is essentially stalking me, but I don't really know how to move from here or to articulate what I want to say. I don't even know if I should talk to Rory at all because I don't want to come across as a homewrecker or anything or blow up our really nice friendship. Any advice would be really helpful. We have our first update, which came 5 days later. We're now at March 20th. Here's some stuff I wanted to assure you all. I had my car checked by 3 shops and I was doubly assured that there weren't any trackers. We even asked a friend of mine who had a sketchy ex in the past to use their bug sweeper on everything and all came out clean. My car, my things, my apartment, my clothes, etc. Someone asked what we normally discuss when we meet and I can't say anything of note. He normally approaches me and asks me how I'm doing and what I'm doing at the place that I was at, and sometimes about Rory and what they did that day. Sometimes it was what I liked or some questions that friends would ask when they get to know each other, which I wouldn't mind answering if it weren't for the fact that he was showing up in a lot of places that I frequent, and I was suspecting him of stalking me, of course. Here is the update. I followed the advice of some commenters that suggested, which was to change my routine. I felt it wasn't enough to randomize it just to avoid him, so I decided to do that police tactic thing where certain specific info was given to suspects to see who was the snitch, since I honestly don't know how he could have stalked me on some places. Some were out of the city, and some were in pretty hidden spots. I told Rory, my new friend and his girlfriend, that I would be in this cafe near school on Wednesday after we had a meeting. I had cleared my suspicion for most of my friends at this point, so it was Rory and another that I wanted to test. I stayed with a friend across the road in a bodega and saw Logan come inside the cafe where I said I was going to be. He went just 1 hour after I said I would be there. I didn't have the best mood after confirming that Logan was using Rory to stalk me, so I didn't go out of my house all of Thursday because I was stressed out of my mind and I didn't know how to move forward with this discovery. Fortunately, today I confronted Rory about it after I mustered up all the courage and I tried to see if she was unknowingly helping him and she was just relaying info without malice. We met after I texted her that I wanted to talk about the agenda from the Wednesday meeting in a mutual friend's dorm room, and she came. An hour in of me fiddling and trying to find the right moment to start my hinting, I followed one of the comments of my last post and I kind of stated that I kept seeing Logan in all the places I've been frequenting for the past month. It started out really well when I pressed that it was odd that I was seeing him almost every week. She got this really odd look on her face and asked me if I was trying to accuse her boyfriend of being gay, which took me off guard. Oh, yeah, I am gay, not to be confused, but it was weird how she went that direction. Oh, okay. I backtracked and said that I wasn't accusing him of anything, but that I kept seeing him, and I brought up the fact that I told her I would be in a cafe on Wednesday and he came after, which I then asked if he asked her about my whereabouts. I think things got really out of hand after that, and she then said that he did ask, but it was more of a concerned boyfriend checking on their girlfriend hanging out with a guy kind of way, instead of the stalkerish kind of way. I got really confused here and tried to say it gave off stalkerish vibes in my perspective, and she got really mad that I was, in her mind, accusing her boyfriend of being interested in me and was gay for a second time. Our mutual friends broke us off because things were getting loud and incoherent, with no belief that we would have a sensible conversation, and Rory left the dorm after that. I did speak to my friend and I asked if I was taking it the wrong way, and she assured me, regardless of my gender and orientation, men had stalkers too, and that she supported me if Rory tried to accuse me of anything. I asked my close friends the same thing, and they assured me that I was very public with my gayness, so it would be weird for Logan to assume that I would be a threat to their relationship. I'm currently in my apartment, and I'm starting to wonder if I was taking it the wrong way. Would a guy keep tabs on a dude his girlfriend was friends with? I'm once again at my wit's end, but I'm trying not to spiral because all the important people, friends, family, etc., support me. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I would be really appreciative of any advice, and we have some more updates. Now this is making sense. That could be true. Even though you are open about your sexuality, that doesn't mean that he doesn't think you might have feelings for his girlfriend. Maybe he's keeping tabs to see if she's meeting up with you. I don't know. It's a possibility.
It could happen.
Then we have an update 2 days later, March 22nd. 2026. Unfortunately, despite what many of the commenters suggested, I am unable to fully break off my tie to Rory and her boyfriend as the semester ends in mid-April for me, and we have a ton of year-end stuff to go through in the student government and the university paper. Fortunately, I do have other friends in 2 organizations, so I will be very much applying for their help until the semester ends, so I can be with someone at all times if worst case comes to reality. And that is it so far. No more updates after that, but I am very curious to see how that one ends. And if something else happens, like Rory's obviously gonna go and confront her boyfriend now and be like, this is what he said. So maybe the boyfriend Logan will back off now because Logan now knows that you're aware. I don't know. I feel like I would just like the ending rather than trying to guess. Unless there is no ending and it ends there forever. Before we get to our next story, it's hydration station. We gotta drink our water. Cheers. Hope you're having a good day. Let me know what's in your cup though if it's not water. I have good news. You guys have been asking and it is official. The form, if you want to submit your story, is officially open. It is going to cap at 100 responses. So if you guys want to get yours in, get it in now. I don't want to take more than that because it takes time to go through and I don't want to miss anyone's story. So if you have a story and you've always wanted to submit it, now is the time. It is linked in the video description of every single video. Top of the line, you can't miss it. So if you want to send it in, please do. Next story. My friend is having an affair and I plan to tell her husband. Am I the a-hole? This story came June 18th, 2024. I've known Anna, female 38, since we were in high school. We are part of a group of 5. Now we hang out as families for Christmas, birthdays, Easters, etc. It has been like this for over 10 years. My partner Greg, male 39, is good friends with Anna's husband, Darren, male 39. Anna recently told me she's having an affair with one of their family friends, who is also Darren's sister's ex-partner. At the time, I remained non-judgmental and supportive. Once the information set in and I realized how disloyal and gross the whole situation is, my sense of justice and moral compass came into play. Darren is a good man. Anna says he's a wonderful father and husband, but she doesn't feel the connection with him anymore, despite faking it the last 6 months to keep her secret under wraps. I knew keeping this from Greg may backfire on me if he found out I also hid the secret, so I told him. He is shattered for his mate and it is eating at him. I've told Anna that my husband, Greg, knows. She's pissed at me for the betrayal, expecting me to take it to my grave. She knows they're catching up soon and Greg plans to tell him. Anna has not asked for a separation because they have an overseas trip coming up in October. She has told me financially that she can't leave, keeping in mind she regularly gets expensive treatments like Botox and taking roids to have her look her best. We want to tell Darren about her affair in 2 weeks. If we do, will we be the a-holes? And then she added the update in the comments. Let's clear some things up. They have always had separate bank accounts. They do not join money and never have specifically because of how much she spends money. They both work and put in a percentage of how much they earn into the home. She does have access to his money and will not be able to clean it out in the next 2 weeks. I know for a fact he keeps a very close eye on credit cards. While we were away and she was buying unnecessary things like clothing, she made sure to only use her card, not the credit. She says that he will question her about it since they're trying to pay off the house and save for a trip to Bali. Just go to bed. We are in Australia and laws are different. Things will more than likely be 50-50 financially. Greg can't quickly fly or drive back from work. It's a 13-hour drive one way and a $600 plane fare. He is FIFO, FYFO, and cannot leave until R&R begins. While we all live in the same state, Australia is pretty dang big. She told me directly that she would want the kids to be 50-50. Anna has never liked kids, and while she loves her own, I think the thought of having them full-time sounds like a walking nightmare to her. The person she's having an affair with has lunch with her locally sometimes while she's on her lunch break from work. They have run into acquaintances multiple times. He comes for family dinner twice a week. What? The kids have caught Anna sitting on his lap before while Darren is not home. Oh my God, she's not even trying to hide it anymore. He comes over when Darren is on night shift while the kids are in the home. Anna has apparently been able to cover it up by telling the kids she does injections and that it's private. So she administered them behind a locked door. He is also on roids and she is a nurse. Darren did ask if I thought she was cheating back in January due to her sex drive suddenly becoming very heightened. At the time, I thought it was because of her recent surgery that she had. I don't think it will be too hard to convince him, and I'd say he has an inkling already. As Anna has said over the past few months, he has become possessive and jealous. The family trip planned in October is with another family friend and their family for the husband's 40th birthday. They have split activities, accommodations, whatever. We do need to keep in mind that Darren may choose to stay and work it out. In this case, Greg and I will be put in a very awkward position and will possibly be removed from the group, which I'm okay with, but a little bit disheartened at the thought of losing people I've spent the last 20 years with. We have moved the meeting up to the day Greg flies on Tuesday. If he was flying home sooner, it would have been done sooner. All right, we're moving on to the final update. Give us the tea. We were dreading catching up with our friend Darren, as we really did not want to be breaking the news of this magnitude to him. If there was an option for him to either come to the realization himself or for her to come clean, Darren texted me Sunday that he had caught her. Greg and I still saw him and offered as much support as possible. She definitely watered down her BS, but Greg and I have told Darren everything we know, which he has said he is extremely grateful for. She did not apologize or provide reasoning, but simply packed her bag and left. The kids stayed with him in the family home. The children were distraught and Darren seemed like a broken man. At least now the ball is in his court and he can see Anna for who she truly is. Darren is a mess, but has plenty of people surrounding him, including her family and friends. As for mine and Anna's friendship, I've decided I will be removing myself from it and I am no longer in contact with her, nor do I plan to be. I know plenty of people deemed me the a-hole for betraying my friend's trust, but was she really a friend blaming and guilting me after making me complicit in her own deceit? I feel like this is a big debate. I did not mention in the post that Anna had told me the following morning that it was good I knew because now she can use me as an excuse. I don't owe loyalty to a friend like that. As for the group, I have messaged them about my stance and why I will be removing myself from Anna. Again, the ball is in their court. It's their decision if they choose to continue a relationship with her. This is a big debate. A lot of people sit on, if my best friend came to me and told me she was cheating on her husband, I would never tell him, and others are saying they would. Where do you guys stand on that? What are your thoughts and feelings? Let me know. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.